Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Well, I call my precious gift. This is Roberta Hladek, who is the CEO and co-founder of Energetic Matrix Church of Consciousness. She's calling in from Las Vegas. That's right, Las Vegas, Nevada, but she's not a showgirl. I always have to say that. People say, what is she doing on the phone? But she is a serious player, as I say. She does help people all over the world with their organization to try to use the energy that she and her associates have captured through their computer and other ways. And it really reaches out and helps a lot of people. How's that?
That sounds great. Thank you. What a great introduction.
Okay, well, you know how I feel about you, so that's the best I can do.
That's so sweet of you. I feel the same about you.
Yeah, well, but you're really in the people healing business, I must say. And you've always said this, you can't heal people, they have to heal themselves. So you have to tell them how to do that.
Well, part of it is, we have the powers within us to heal ourselves. It's just that we have to concentrate on those. And it's pretty hard to do that when we're trying to work and take care of children or take care of parents or all the things that we have going on in our daily lives.
Or pets.
Or pets, yes. We just don't have the time to just sit down and focus on ourselves, unfortunately. We might have a few minutes during the day at some point. So that's where the AIM program comes in. And what the AIM program does is it does that work for us. It sends all the energy to us, and our higher self takes care of everything. That's kind of like on your unconscious level. It's not that, some people go, well, how do I know what I'm supposed to be doing? You don't have to know because your body knows. And I know that's kind of sometimes hard for us to grasp, but the way the AIM program works is it's all about frequencies. And if we think about it, all of us are just energetic molecules put together. And if we could see us like on an aura reading, when you see that, you just see the colors. Well, it's similar to that when we are looking at you. We're just seeing all these frequencies. And when the frequencies are not balanced with what's going on in, around you, like we're supposed to be balanced in the world. We're supposed to feel good. Like when you hear music, you feel a particular frequency that you like. Or you might not like it and you switch the channel. So it's kind of like that. When you're out of balance, the AIM program sends these energies to us, and we're able to balance ourselves and keep ourselves more in a balanced state, which gives us more energy, more positive, we're healthier, we're happier, all those different things.
Just like that, huh?
Just like, well, not just like that, but that's like a quick explanation, I guess.
Right. And do you believe when people read your book that they can get a lot of what you and I know and have talked about? Because I don't think I would have known that had I not read the book, years ago. That's how I made my relationship with you all. It's a very powerful book. It was like kind of unheard of at the time. And that was many years ago. Now, with immunotherapy and other things, more things are possible. But that time, that was like hocus pocus stuff.
Right, for sure. And now it's a little bit more mainstream. People are understanding what energy is, what frequencies are. I mean, before when we would talk about it, people would look at us like, okay, you're nuts,
Right.
But we've been around for a very long time. We're going into our 22nd year this year as the AIM program. But Stephen, who's passed away, was my business partner, and I met him in 1987, and he was working on it and had been for years before that. So we've been coming around to this and working with it for a very, very long time. So it's not like we just popped up one day, last week and decided this is what we're going to do. So it's a very powerful program, and it does so much for you. It's pretty incredible. And hopefully, this year, 2020, we are hoping I'm doing a lot of research to try and enhance the AIM program. I want it to be even more powerful than it is. And I'm continually finding frequencies and doing that part of it, but I want to see it ramp up and maybe get it to be a little more powerful in helping us get over things. My main concern, it seems like around this time of the year, of course, is the flu, because I get a lot of emails and a lot of questions about the flu. It's a scary thing because they talk about, people dying of the flu, and you think it's a flu.
Wow.
We shouldn't be dying of it, right?
Yeah.
And the flu vaccine is great, but it's always based on the flu from the year before. So I've been focusing, trying to find all those different strains to help us with the flu. Not that, in case we do get the flu, how fast do we get over it? And that's what Stephen and I used to always focus on. It's not that you don't get anything, because when you're on the AIM program, yes, you're going to get things. It's a normal thing because we're out in the world. People are traveling all over the world, bringing things back. You're catching things when you're abroad. So we're introduced to different germs than we were used to. So we're going to catch things. But how fast do you get over them? And I was talking to a person the other day, and he said, gosh, I haven't had a flu or a cold in like years. And I got a bit of a cold. I was with my grandkids. And he's been on AIM for a really long time. And he said it was amazing because he said his friends had the flu, and they were down for like 2 weeks. He was down for 2 days. And he said, and even at that, he wasn't really down, but he did feel it and felt a little off for about 2 days. So that's the beauty of it. It's if you get something, let's get over it. Let's get on.
Right. Exactly.
We don't have time to be down. We don't have time to call in sick. We just, these days we're just going at such a clip. Nobody has time for that.
Yep. No, you're so right. That's just, wow. Well, you, of course, deal with some very serious things. I was talking with some other people before you, and one was a great physician, just absolutely the kind of physician you'd want in every office you could ever go to. But one thing that I've been reading about, and if you don't know about it, I'd like you to go on there. Are you familiar with blue zones?
I've heard of them, but I'm not super familiar.
You need to go and see. It's what it is, in essence, shortcut. Is it shows the places where all the people who are geriatrics live 90, 100 years old and older, all the places in the world and why. It's a great website, and I'm going to start to do something on it. I'm so impressed with it.
That sounds wonderful, because I remember a while back they had a show on TV that they were investigating older people and how long they're living and why. And they went to California. Oh gosh, I hope I can remember the name of that place. It's a retirement area in Southern California.
Yes, that's one of the places, actually.
Mm-hmm. And they talked to these people, and there was a woman that's 92, and she was driving a little Volkswagen Beetle convertible, and she had more energy, and she was going to teach her yoga class, and she really didn't have, she told the interviewer, I don't really have time to talk to you. What do you need to know? I mean, she was very, she said, I'm on a schedule, and he said, well, what do you do? And he said, do you take vitamins? She said, no. And he said, are you on medication? No. And she said, what we do is at night we all go up to the club and we all have dinner, and we'll have a drink, maybe a glass of wine, whatever. And they just live life. But they were saying that the big thing is to be social and interact with people. That was one of the biggest things, and exercise. Yep. Those were the two things, because most of the people weren't on any medications at all, or maybe a little bit, but it wasn't like they were taking handfuls of vitamins either.
Right. It is different, isn't it, nowadays? I mean, we do have a lot of people living to be 90 and 100, but as someone said, I don't want to be that old if I'm not well. I don't want to be sick and live just because to live older. The most important thing is not right. And so that's the whole point. What you've just said is correct. If you start exercising and you eat properly. And this doctor that was just on said you must get between 8 and 9 hours of sleep every night. And for me, that's like, are you kidding? But you know what? When he finished, I said, I'm going to try. Because he said your body absolutely has to heal itself, talking about things you do. And that's the only time it can do it. No matter if you're up and you're relaxing, you're still doing something. Go to sleep. So I'm taking that very seriously because I don't go to sleep early.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I usually go to sleep about 11.
Okay.
And then I'm up by 7:30 in the morning.
Okay.
But I do sleep a lot. Like when we were off on our winter break, we take 2 weeks off during Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
And I found myself, taking little naps, sleeping in. It was great. Not living by a wristwatch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you should do.
Well, that's very interesting. I'll have to check out because I've noticed that, like when I traveled to Greece. My other half is Greek. And about 15 years ago, he and I went to Greece so we could visit family and what have you. Mm-hmm. And it was so interesting to see the way of life and how different it was. And granted, it's a small little community that they lived in, a very small town. And they just don't have the big supermarkets like we have. They didn't have fast food places. They had a bakery that you got your bread and your sweets from, and then they had a meat market. Everything was separate. So when you went shopping, you had to go to several different places, and they were all like in a row, kind of. But a very small place, and the food tasted really well. But I noticed that all of the people, no matter how old they were, and some of them were quite a bit, they were probably in their 90s, walking everywhere. And they were happy, healthy. They were in tune with what was going on. It was real interesting. So there is some truth to that.
Yep. Yesterday, it was my first day. I said, okay, I'm going to leave my little jacket home, and I'm going to go into the exercise room and start. Well, I went there, and every single machine downstairs was filled up. I couldn't get on.
It's always like that the first of the year. Everybody makes those resolutions, right?
Well, I'll go in the evening. I think people don't do this later on. I'm going to do this later on after dinner or before I have dinner. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I'll do because they're all in there early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to get in there and get it over with.
I guess.
And then get on. And it's hard here when it gets cold. Now it's been cold, like this morning coming to work, it was 46.
Oh,
so
gosh.
It's a little chilly, and it's hard to get motivated when it's cold like that.
Too chilly for me now. We've had in the upper 50s, goes into the 60s most of the time, and I dress up. I put scarves around my neck because that's the first place that, you can really get sick.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And so,
definitely.
Yeah. But you're not having snow. Now, you said from time to time you could get snow.
Every year we've had snow since I've lived here.
Really?
Yes. Last year, around February, I had to declare a snow day because I couldn't get out of my driveway. Because, of course, I don't have a shovel. I don't have all those things that you need, right?
Right.
So I couldn't get out of the driveway. And some of the girls live across town. They didn't get snow, but I'm higher up, and the office is a little higher up. We're kind of like a bowl. So the strip is down on the bottom, and then we're up on the side. So I'm kind of far up towards the mountains. So it gets a little colder in that. So we do get snow, yeah.
Okay, well, as long as you have, it's funny. I was out in Texas on a press trip, and it got pretty cold. I had sweaters and all, and I mentioned it to my son. So nothing would do, but for Christmas, they got me one of these puffer jackets,
I love those. Yeah.
Right, and it's wonderful, and it has a hood and everything, but it hasn't been cold enough for that. That really requires 30 degrees. But nothing would do, but my cousin, who knew I wanted one, she got me one. So do you want me to send you a puffer jacket?
We could probably sure use them here.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a great present, and I thought it really keeps people warm. There's just no there's no space for the air to get in.
Yeah, they're fabulous, and my niece a couple of years ago had wanted one for Christmas, and I had bought her one, and she's now living up in Seattle.
Oh,
and she
that's
says,
good.
I can really use it.
Oh,
and I
yes.
said, good for you.
Yeah, very much so. Well, let's get back now to some of the medical performances. I call them performances, things that you all are doing that if people are listening and they have this problem and they're frustrated, they don't know what to do, whether there's someone they love, has Down syndrome, or they have autism, or they have other things wrong with them. Let's just talk real down and, I'm not going to say dirty, down and dirty about, in a sense, what you do, and you've seen so much success. That's what I'd like to end the show with.
We work with autism, of course, and we work with Down syndrome folks, and we have a program that allows them to come on the AIM program for free. So it's a scholarship program, and it's amazing. It helps those people so much. And I've talked to parents and guardians, and they've all said just any little bit that can help them have a better life, is because they're very intelligent kids and people. And so if we can get them to be able to express that, anything that we can do to help them, that the AIM program can do, we do the best we can with them, and they do fabulous. We've had some great miracles, I call them, with some of those folks. Some have graduated from college. We've had several graduate from college and are living a quote-unquote normal life, whatever that would be. But they're able to be self-sufficient. And that's just a dream for a parent with a child with special needs. So that's been really good. And then we've also had participants in the mainstream of life. I had a man with a high PSA count. And for a lot of men, he said it just kept climbing. And he was like, why am I not able to heal this? What is going on with me? So he asked his facilitator to check with me and see if I could take a look and see what was blocking him. And we did find a frequency that was blocking that, and it's gone way down. And it's continuing to go down. So we're hoping that he can stay down there, and might be something else might pop up that we'll have to find. But he's doing fabulous and quite relieved. And then I've got another, these are two men that have recently contacted me, had big issues. Another one had a type of a blood cancer where his red blood cells go really high, and they weren't able to control it, and they were just going higher and higher, and he was getting more and more frustrated. And so I checked him once, and we found some stuff and didn't do too much. We checked him again, and after those things had cleared out, we found a frequency not in the database. Able to add that, he came down within a range where the doctor could then prescribe something to help. But I guess if it's out of a particular range, then nothing they give them will help. So, and I don't know what happens with that because I'm not in the medical field to know what all those particulars are, but he was so relieved because then they could give him medication that would help him to keep it under control. But him also, he was telling me that his daughter was having a hard time conceiving. He put her on AIM with their family.
You're kidding.
Put a new family plan.
You're kidding.
She's got a baby coming.
You're kidding.
So he's going to be a grandpa this year. So he's really excited that he's going to be around to see the baby.
Now, those are, and I know we shouldn't use the word miracles, but that's just short of amazing, isn't it?
It really is. And it's all these people are not stopping the medical. It's not. This isn't a medical program, so they're staying with what their protocols are. But we're looking for frequencies. We're looking at blocks in their energy. Whatever is blocking things from pursuing and going in the positive direction for them. So these two men have been just very, very sweet. The one man sent me 2 bouquets of flowers over the last few months. And then he sent me a big basket of goodies for Christmas, and it was just so sweet of him.
Wow.
He's just thrilled, that he was making headway, and I was like, my job. You don't have to do that, but it's really nice.
Oh, he was so appreciative.
Yeah. So we have,
Yeah,
those
a lot
are the
of
days
success
when,
stories.
yeah, and you love to hear that what you're doing is making a difference in someone's life, and that's
Absolutely.
the bottom line.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so good. You know what? I just have to tell everybody. Okay, I am talking with Roberta Hladek, and she's talking about the AIM program. They've been having a little ad in Boomer Times, and whether you understand what it is or not, these radio shows really explain what can be done. You don't have to sit around and wait and hope. There are methods now. I've been involved in a lot of organizations, and I think they're all part of the methods to help you get to be the best. And the energy for me is the best. And I've been on AIM for many, many years. And I remember, I've told people about this before, but the Silva Mind Control was something I started I didn't start it, but I was a part of in 1974 or 72, I think it was. Changed my life, and it was all to do with energy. That I could do things I never would have been able to believed I could do before that course.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's all in, shifting the energy and removing these cobwebs that we have, because we're busy. We are busy people. We've got more and more things that we've got to do every day. So if we can clear out those cobwebs and make it clear, give us some more energy, and we're living longer, so let's live the best we can.
Right. Absolutely. Of course, I really feel that when you're in a program like you have, that's all been proven. It works. Dr. Wayne Dyer was involved in it. We know about all these things. So this isn't casual. We're so fortunate to have Roberta on once a month. She comes on the show, and she's had a lot of famous people who are on the AIM program. And it's not a lot of money to join, and you're kept up on it. And it's one of the rare places that you can, just as she said, that someone got on it, and actually now, not everyone's going to get pregnant just because they get on it. It just, maybe it was the right thing in the right time in the right place for this person. So that's what you have to do. You have to be hopeful, and you have to join things that you believe in, and look at the professionals who are involved. Everybody gets on the internet, and there's strange things that are on the internet. You have to be very careful. But if you're in doubt, give me a call, and I'll certainly assure you that the AIM program is something you'll want to do. And the way to really get on this is just go to aimprogram.com. It's so easy to get on their website, and you have, without a doubt, I really spent a lot of time on your website recently. Boy, have you made it great, and you've grown it. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it really is, and that's what people, they don't know anything about you all, so when they get on there, that's what has to give them the information. I didn't see, are you putting these programs on your website? I didn't realize if you were or not.
What we do is we put them in our newsletter.
Okay.
And then we make references to them on the website. And I'm in the process of revamping the website.
Okay.
I just hired a new person to help me with that.
Okay.
And so we're going to have some changes coming to it.
Good, because, we do send you them, and you're on enough, and the information's great, and it would be super for you if you could do that for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got to do that.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, Roberta, it's always so wonderful having you on the show, and I don't know if we probably have another minute or so. We have 3 minutes, and we have a pulmonologist coming on right after you, and he's fantastic too. So, no, he's going to be on later. We have a ophthalmologist no. We have an otolaryngologist. I'm sorry, I'm getting all these things confused. All these doctors. An otolaryngologist who's going to talk about sleep, snoring and what you're going to do about sleeping, because the biggest thing now is people who can't sleep. That's but he has a new system to help people, so it's pretty good. So the sleep apnea I never heard of that 10 years ago, and now there are many people that sleep with this gadget on their face, but he has something that is it's a little implant. And apparently you don't have to use the other. So I'm very excited about it. That's what he's going to talk about right on the show at 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, your show's always so informative, and I always love talking to you. And
I
there's always
do
such
also.
great information.
Yeah. Well, look up
So,
Blue Zones. That's a new one.
I'm going to look it up.
Right. Thank you so much, Roberta. Really, it's always a pleasure to be with you. You know that.
It's a pleasure to be with you, too, and happy 2020.
Yeah, 2020. That's it. That's our year.
There you go.
Thanks, Roberta. Until next time. Bye.